Most of us have played pinball before, or at least know the general concept of it. You just keep your ball in play as long as possible and rack up all the points you can. Well, this game entirely reinvents how your mind perceives the game known as pinball. This game essentially changes the concept of pinball from the score attack game into a platformer of sorts. The concept starts off as the same old pinball game you have played before. The same two flippers and a steel ball, but the difference being that you can throw the perception of how pinball scoring works out the window. PinOut is a very different pinball game, and instead you have to progress upwards and get higher and higher, making progress up a board that seemingly feels endless. You have to aim and get your steel ball in certain pathways, and continue to collect extra time pellets along the way until you reach the next checkpoint. The checkpoint saves your time, and it lets you return to stages if you fail after allowing it to essentially save your progress, and it allows you to get farther into the checkpoints. The free version, however, only lets you start from the very beginning of the game. You cannot use the checkpoints in the free version, which means you essentially cannot save your game. The premium version will, however, let you continue at any checkpoint you have already reached. The premium version is only $1.99, and I think that is a great buy. But the free version is more than capable of holding your entertainment. I feel that the free version is actually better because it allows you to get better and continue taking your journey into the farther stages and perfecting what you want to do. I personally feel like continuing at the checkpoints sort of misses the beauty of the game. And this game is downright gorgeous, not only on the eyes but also the ears. The graphics have a simple yet elegant techno 80s approach that kind of feels like it was ripped from Tron, which is a good thing. You have the vibrant glow of the boards that change colors with each new stage, and it all looks so eye-catching. And you can even see a little bit of fog and mist that just ever so slightly on the board, which just adds a little bit to the atmosphere of the game. And it wouldn't be complete with the amazing soundtrack that it has. I never once thought I would say this about a pinball game, but I could listen to this soundtrack all day. Take a moment and take this in. It has an 80s haunting vibe to me, and it sort of reminds me of Stranger Things, which is another thing that reinvents a genre. The music is absolutely perfect and makes the game even more pleasing to me. Each stage has its own haunting song and they all sound amazing to me. The game also has power-ups to aid you along the way, but they didn't really add much to the game for me honestly. Most seemed to control time and just helped you farther get into the board, but the time ones didn't really seem to help me all that much. One of the power-ups stopped time while your ball wasn't moving, but your ball is always moving in pinball, so what's the point? The part I really didn't like about the game was the mini-games. There are 3 mini-games in total, and when you hit them, it will suck your steel ball up into them, and it will essentially make you play them at the top of the screen. They all just kind of felt boring to me after playing them once or twice. They do get you lots of extra time, which you do need, but it kind of feels forced to me. I didn't want to be forced to play a minigame, and I can't count how many times I purposely tried to kill myself in the minigames just so I could get back to the main game, or I would just try to avoid them altogether. It pulled you out of the immersive experience that the game was trying to create for you. I understand adding extras to a game like minigames, and I can understand it adds a lot to it, but in this instant, it kind of hinders it. If you are a pinball enthusiast, you may not like the physics in the game because they are not full physics and you should not be expecting it going into this. Make no doubt about it, this is not a normal pinball game. By adding the realistic pinball physics, you would have taken away its simple concept. It's not supposed to be over-challenging to get a higher score on the board. It's more about the journey and the experience that you take away from it. And when you get into the later stages and the more challenging parts of the game, you're really going to be happy that you don't have those realistic physics. This isn't your breakneck speed, fast-paced pinball. It's a slow and steady, amazing pace as you climb up the board. Overall, the feeling of the flow in the game is spectacular, even with the mini-games breaking up the flow every once in a while. Even though I did say you did not need the premium version, and that the checkpoints kind of took a layer of the game away, I still feel it's worth purchasing just to show the developers that their hard work paid off. You can really see the effort that was poured into this game. When you get on a roll and keep it going and just kind of get into a groove, you can really feel it and it's really amazing. You feel like a pinball master. The game gets a 10 out of 10 for its visual atmosphere and stunning soundtrack that it creates, going above and beyond any other pinball game out there. This is my mobile game of the week, and I think I will be playing it a lot longer than just a week. It's basically free, so you can't go wrong. And if you like it, go ahead and purchase the premium version. Just make sure to wear headphones during this game. Thanks for watching, guys, and come back next week for another mobile game of the week. Thanks, and have a good day or night, guys.